Done with it. Not today. Not on my watch. Nope. Gonna have to cut that shit short. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking, and I'm here to be the shoulder to lean on. Is there even an edge? Am I even beating the games? Am I even a winning player out here? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Dial it back. Dial it back. It's one weekend. It was just one weekend. We all got slapped in the face. Let's turn the page. Let's move on. There's always another slate. There's always another slate to chase. And I just want to think about the context of Underdog. It's a slate for life, okay? It's a lifetime slate. I don't care if I lose tonight, tomorrow, the next day, because I'm going to get mine. I'm going to get mine in week 7 of 2024, all right? That's when it might be coming. But we just stay the course. We keep building good teams, and it's going to come our way. So let's just dive right into the stuffing slate together. Let's get it. Let's get it. Boys, what's going on? How we feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. I think I'm the only one that's feeling good today. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know. I thought everybody else knew who the best plays were last week. This week. I'm sorry. I thought we knew.
It's actually funny that, like, I said this to you earlier, where it's just like it feels like every week that everyone loses, Nez somehow wins. Like, it's just like, it doesn't make sense.
It explains a lot. It explains a lot, actually. Clearly my process is GPP oriented, and I think at this point I think that means I'm doing something right. So
absolutely. No, that's absolutely what it means, because when all the top end stuff fails, when all the Saquon 101 doesn't get home, who's left there standing, right?
Not Josh Allen, I'll tell you that much. It was my strong lean, but it's neither here nor there. We're gonna go right back to the Josh Allen well.
Yeah, you're 1 week off on the Jacoby Brissett, Amari Cooper.
Oh, dude, that helped me though. That helped me get in the green this week in the goal line stand. I had Amari in the goal line stand.
Yeah, I saw you lurking up there all day.
Yeah, I pivoted hard on some like really scary positions. Like GA said, like with Devontae Adams, like I ended up like after talking with Pete and just like understanding that there were no other stars in the slate, I was like, okay, maybe I should go and hop on this third round Devontae. And I wasn't overweight, but I did end up getting on there, and that helped me save my day in the goal line stand. I was close.
Honestly, like, I think process wasn't that bad from us last week. Like, just in general, like, no tight end really broke the slate. So the Andrews stuff didn't bury us, right? Like, we were on Andrews. The Andrews plus Lamar kind of did. But then, like, I guess the top end quarterbacks kind of failing, and then you needing something else from elsewhere. But it was basically you needed Amari and Pollard, and that was the slate, right?
Yep.
And we were all off Pollard for, I think, good reasons. I still don't know. I mean, Pollard might just be one of those anomalies where, like, the communities loved him for so long, and it was like, give him his chance. And now he's getting like a little glimpse of that chance, and we were afraid it was going to get ripped away because Zeke was coming back, and it kind of did. I mean, he lost those goal line carries. Zeke scored twice. But
that's crazy. He could have been in line for a 50-point day, like really? if things went differently, or if like it was, the Zeke out again, like Pollard could have went nuclear again. I didn't have a lot of Pollard until like Saturday. I went through my exposures and looked at like who I had and saw like how little I had of Tony Pollard. And I was like, holy crap, man, like that could probably be not good. So I started to jam him in late, but we weren't really on him because we were waiting on this Zeke stuff. There was a bunch of bullish Zeke news, and until like that news came out where they said that Zeke was still gonna be eased back in, then I kind of went in hard, because when you hear in the news, especially with a player like Zeke, a ton of this positive news coming out, that's not coming from the team. That's from his agent. Like, that's like, hey, like, don't worry, guys. Like, Zeke's good. He's good. Like nothing to worry about. Like, Zeke, like that is straight, just like roses and sunshine from the agent. And you kind of have to wonder, like, what are they like? What are they counteracting? Like, so I don't know. I don't need too many reasons to fade Zeke. Like, I literally just like I spun that around to like, hey, you know what? Actually, like Zeke's not fine, but it's just something interesting, you know, to think about like why was there so much like fluff on Zeke? And you know,
I think I ended up with almost as much Zeke as I did Pollard, because I was like, oh, this is leverage spot. Nobody's touching him.
Yeah.
Like, I'll use him as run back and this sort of thing. And I was kind of like, let's leverage against the Pollard ownership. The fact that people have been drafting him all week with like the anticipation that he'd have the backfield to himself. Right. And this is interesting. If Silas saying that zero Pollard placed 87th. So I don't know if he's implying that like the top 87 teams all had Pollard. I don't know. Clarify
that would be nuts.
Me, Silas, because that would be nuts. That's what I'd be very interested in. That's because when he said that, I was like, ooh, what? Yeah, I mean, and then like Numi was all over that Bengals game. That Bengals game ends up he had no Pollard and still finished. Okay, nobody cares about your team, Silas. That's actually pretty impressive. No, but like Numi was all over that Bengals game shooting out. We were more bearish on that one. Finds a path to that, and it just happens that it's Samaje Perine instead of Mixon, Higgins, Boyd, or Hurst. Like it was just kind of...
Yeah, that was a little egg on my face on that one. Like I do need to I need to address that, right? I was pounding the Steelers drum, and turns out Joe Burrow is really him. He's really him. So and like Samaje getting there and making it look so easy when Joe Burrow is like been given all the opportunity in the world and only cashed in like on one game is pretty telling. And you got to wonder how much that factors in whenever he eventually comes back. Cause I think he just had a concussion, so he will return this season. There's not too much to worry about with Joe Mixon, but yeah, I mean, Steelers still had 2 turnovers and I was hoping for more than 2 sacks and maybe less than 35 points against, but that
TJ Watt made an amazing interception though. That was pretty elite.
Yeah, that was incredible.
He's dirty.
The other one didn't even look like a pick. I'll be 100% with you. It looked like they hit the ground, but they
reviewed it in slow motion, man.
Yeah, well, they reviewed a lot of things in slow motion that clearly looked like it hit the ground.
Not for Minnesota.
And then we just so we won't even get into the reffing thing, but I mean, I just got the Bengals for me like right off the get go just from their prices. Like you could get Higgins falling into like easily the 3rd, sometimes the 4th. Burrow was free. You just had to basically reach for him, which in the 5th and 6th, we weren't giving up anything. So it's like just reach for him in the 5th. So you get him. And then I was all over Boyd, who I think had like 2 receptions, even if I think maybe that's generous. Maybe he
didn't have a catch till the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah. It was sad. It was just like, it was the Samaje Perine show. And then Najee gets the first touchdown too. It's just like, what are we doing here? Like
Najee's showing some juice, dude.
Yeah.
I played a bit of them too.
To be honest with you, I had some lineups catching steam, and then all of a sudden it was like Tony Pollard, and then it was just like, oh okay, yep. And then the Vikings just, we lost Darisaw, whole line didn't know how to block. Literally, Kirk was in shambles. Like it was terrible. So yeah, no juice from the Minnesota side. So I leveraged quite a bit of Jefferson lineups with the Thielen play, with the Cook play. It all they just buried.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that game did not go according to plan. But I'm happy. Yep. I'm happy with like some of the stuff we were on early in the week. Like we got ahead of the Montgomery. Montgomery ended up being my highest owned running back. He finds the end zone. He was in a good game environment.
He nearly matched Fields, right? He was like only 4 or like 5-6 points behind, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, they both got there, which we were talking about like
pair them together and
really strange stacks and they got there.
Yeah, and then we talked a lot about how Jacobs was underpriced for his role, and we were buying 4th round Jacobs, and then we talked a lot about the Sutton mini with Devontae Adams and Sutton mini with Jacobs, and it was just kind of like we talked about that all on the JM show. So like I think we were on the right pieces, and then we just got slapped in the face by Tony Pollard.
Like, like I messaged Nez and I sent him a lineup where literally I took like I started doing lineups where I would take Higgins and Amon-Ra from the 6-7, and then I would continue to build lower ADP lineups, just bypassing the first round. Specifically, what the outcome played were so many duds. No one had a breakaway week except Pollard, so the guy I just wasn't on him. So it's like I was building so many, and Nez literally was like, I mean, that still looks fine. Like with the context of the slate, I was like, I mean, I built 20 lineups that are just gross like this, like AJ Brown, T Higgins from the 6-7, and then you would get wait for another running back, and I would just get Burrow a lot of the times, and then wait. And
in
get
theory, like that type
I was
of build
all over Greg
smashed.
Dulcich. Yeah, I was all over Greg. Like
smashed.
I was in those builds, just not the right players. So I'm still fine with like my process. Like I just thought, I mean, what I thought kind of happened, or what would happen did, which was so many duds in the first round, like just landmines. I was just like, I'm going to build lineups to try and avoid that. It's just the players I built around Amon-Ra from those players. Like, well, Higgins got there, didn't have duds and no Pollard. So
yeah, I mean, it basically sums up the weekend there. It's like duds from the first and no Pollard, and quarterback scoring was really flat, which we've been anticipating for a long time. But then all of a sudden we saw these elite names on the slate, and it was kind of like, oh, okay, well, they should be thrust up there. But yeah. Very, you know what? It's not even that interesting a slate. You know, like I want to say like it was a really interesting slate. It was a really fun, interesting slate to dive into and break down leading up to it. But then all of a sudden, like when it played out, it was just kind of meh. You know, like it could have been a lot more. I don't know. It could have been a lot more spicy with some of the combinations that were available. And I think it was just because no points were scored, right?
Yeah. Ultimately, I think what it came down to was like, well, one, we were right about like the slate being gross. And then the one game that we thought like had a glimmer of hope of like being a ton of scoring was that Bills game, and it didn't get there. So that like really is what like shook things up like big time. But you know, at least we were right about the slate being gross as shit, because it certainly was.
Yeah, this has probably been said, I mean, a million times now. I just noticed it, but it's like the Bills, I think they go right back to Detroit. So like,
it's like, do they even leave?
That was my first thought. I was like,
they don't.
I was like, no, that's probably dumb. But I was like, do you just stay there? Like, do you just literally stay in? Like, wouldn't that be way more travel to go back to Buffalo and then back to Detroit? I don't know, maybe not, but
that game has that. I'm excited about this one. So we can go ahead and maybe get started.
There's some, like you said, it gets so. I think the biggest thing about just this slate in general. Well,
let's not talk about the slate yet. Let's not talk about the slate yet. I really want to look at the winner. I want to look at the winner from last week, and then we'll talk about the slate. But we did bury the lead right now. We buried the lead a little bit because Underdog did a sick job with all these varieties of slates for Thanksgiving here. Like, this is incredible. Like, so many options. It feels like a main slate, right? Like,
yeah, they did this they did this last year as well. But I didn't quite have the bankroll that I did last year. But they also last year, I don't know if anybody remembers, they like before they had the bonus funds, they did a like a match deposit. Like, it wasn't even a first time depositor. They were just like, hey, like, deposit on Thanksgiving, we will double it. So like I put in 100 and then they gave me 100 back. Well, like I said, at the time my bankroll wasn't there, and like could use $100, and I just like took it out and then played with the 100 that they gave me as a bonus. So that's why they're like, we need bonus funds bad, because I'm sure I wasn't the only one that was like, thank you guys, I could
mid-season little bankroll boost.
I was down bad, but yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, and fun for us too, because we're going to be doing a lot more content associated with it. So some fun news on our end. We were talking with Hayden Winks over the weekend there a little bit, and we're going to start mixing in some written content associated with Underdog Network. And the first slate in which we're going to be diving heavy in is the turkey. So why not just get started right here with all this stuff, right?
That's really
a lot
exciting.
of fun. Yeah,
shout out to Hayden and the team for hooking us up with that. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. I'm really looking forward to that. Main slate. I actually played 0 goal line stands this week. I thought I was gonna win the DeBomb until Tony Pollard went bonkers. I was in third or fourth, and I had a Sutton Adams left, and I thought I was gonna take that one down. But not a lot of badges up here at the top, guys. We're not alone. We're not alone. I was looking down through this, and I was just like, I do not see a badge in sight until this guy BRN DXQ won the 50K early in the season. So seeing him back up there is, oh, okay, we'll put a little respect on that name. And I do like the team that he came up with here. But anyways, let's just, is there anything to say about the winner? It was a Joe Burrow, T. Higgins mini stack there. And then he had the Jacobs plus Adams, which we talked about. Mark was all about that this week. And then JM kind of scared us off it when he said one or the other only gets there, only gets the 30-point games. So kind of fell off that a little bit, and then just needed that Tony Pollard 6th round one-off, basically.
That's my 3 highest exposed players, and then my highest exposed mini stack. Just
that's wild. That's wild.
Oh,
T. Higgins, highest exposed player.
I had
Mark Andrews second, and then Josh Jacobs second. With I had like 40 T. Higgins, Joe Burrow stacks. A bunch of Jacobs mixed in there. I even was a proponent for the Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, because they could both get there because of the concentration.
Yeah.
Tony Pollard just says, you know what? Just eat it. That's what he said. Just eat it, bud.
Yeah. Well, that's got to make you feel good, right? Like you're just one piece off. Like
just one piece. Yep. Yeah. So like the process.
I think I said last week that the winning score was going to be like 140. I believe was like my proposal, and lo and behold, we didn't even get to 140.
Yeah, 138, which is like a stark contrast to weeks past. Like we've had a 200 win. We've had, mainly in the 170s to 190s has kind of been the norm winning score. I mean, this score under normal circumstances, under a normal scoring week, this score wouldn't even have flirted with the bomb, right? Like it wouldn't even have flirted with, it would be a cash line team if that, right? Yeah, so just a very ugly, gross, down scoring week. There's no one to put in the winner's circle because I don't even know where to find these people.
If you're watching, if you're looking for someone to talk about your winning lineup, you found the channel. Now just hit us up in the comments. Let us know that was you, Earl, or I don't even want to say that. That sounds like a naughty word. Areola.
I don't even know what it is. But I mean, nice team. I mean, we all could have we could have found our way there. It looks like he kind of almost bypassed the first round because that first round pick would have just been, exactly like Numi's saying, it would have been Andrews and Adams who, we would readily find in the second round as the week went on. So you didn't even need that super front end 2 first round pick players. And then, any more to add?
Nah, fuck Tony Pollard. All
right,
turkey
look too easy.
Because we're a fucking sieve. That's what we are. Anyway. All right, move on. Next slate.
Yeah. Tony
117.
Pollard.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, man.
The bomb.
117 into bomb. Yeah.
I think my goal line stand team did better than that.
I could see it. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see where I was. 119 for your boy.
Yep, you would have won the bomb with that.
Did
you have Tony Pollard or no?
No, dude. This team was Jalen Hurts, Jamal Williams, Najee Harris, Devontae Adams, Devontae Smith, double stack, and then Greg Dulcich. So
I mean, classic name correlation play. We should have been on that. Devontaes? Come on.
Come on now. Like you
fools.
Can't ignore that. But shout out Najee Harris, man. That's hilarious. Dude, get off. Come on.
I'm not responding to GA anymore for the rest of these Minnesota comments.
Quit pouring salt in the wound.
This is interesting to bring up here. So the optimal, we wouldn't have got there with P. Ryan. Obviously, nobody probably would have built this team to begin with, but interesting that the optimal would have been something like Pollard, Adams, Burrow, Samaje Perine, Amari Cooper, Juwan Johnson.
That's funny.
There's 2 things I want to add to this is Jamal Williams. He's a prolific touchdown scoring running back with his goal line opportunities. It's insane. We probably should have been a little more on him just in terms of mixing him in as like a 6th round pick. He was basically only a goal line stand guy. I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of
running back
hindsight, because
was
if you look at the game, we were all over the Giants just creating absolute hell for Jared Goff, and then the Lions not doing what they were doing and basically just ramming it down their throats and then getting those goal line chances. So I mean, we were all, no one was on the Lions whatsoever except Amon-Ra. No one was ever, the whole thing was just like, Jared Goff isn't going to do it on the road. Like, this defense is going to eat him alive under pressure, and we know what to do. So it's like, I mean, hindsight to go, we should have been on him a lot more than we were. That's why I just think it's like, yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think he's top 5 in the NFL at scoring touchdowns. Saquon was drafted at 100% frequency. Why not just mix him in as a run back? We've seen the opportunity. We've seen them bury Swift on the depth chart. Like, why not just mix him in 2 running back builds as a run back off Saquon? I don't think that's revisionist in any regard. Like, I don't think we should have been doing it at a high frequency, but the fact that I had 0% is probably bad.
I was thinking, I didn't think he had a 3 touchdown day in his bag. I was thinking like 16 points, like a Devin Singletary score was what I was thinking. And I was 3 away from maxing. I had 1 Jamal Williams in there, and I had him obviously in goal line stand. He was for me, it was an awesome pick there. But I think that I'm, in hindsight, just looking at like the Giants not being respected by Vegas, I think was like a signal. And DeAndre Swift getting buried is absolutely a real thing. The Lions are just kind of like weird to trust, you know. As soon as you think that like they might have something competent going on, they go and like shit on themselves. But I think that they might have something cooking, especially in this Bills matchup. They're 9-point dogs, but 53-point over under. It should be an entertaining way to start Thanksgiving. At the absolute worst.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helped Amon-Ra getting down at the 1, and then another guy getting down at the 1. It's just like he got like opportunities from other people just falling short, just like literally inches short of a touchdown. Whereas that
it's just within range of outcomes, right?
Yeah.
Of course, but it's just range of outcomes. It's in the same regard as, you know, James Conner used to be for Arizona. It was like, you know, we'd be on Kyler every week. We'd be on this, and then all of a sudden James Conner gets 3 touchdowns, and it's like, well, why didn't we see that one potentially happening? You know, it's not that it's likely to happen. It's not that we should have been building around it. It's just the fact that, like, you know, he had 16 carries last week. He had 24 the week before that. He had 17. Like a running back, like, sure, it's like amplified by the fact that he scored 3 touchdowns, but like a running back getting this kind of volume just in general, like, I don't know, he probably should be in play. Anyways.
Yeah, I think as far as my process goes, just like real quick, I definitely should have mixed him in more. I was 3 away from maxing, and to only have 1 of him is definitely like not ideal.
Yeah, and especially I was thinking about it in the context of I ended up with 21% Saquon, even though I didn't really love the Saquon spot. I just kept rolling 101s, and I was just kind of like, well, my builds look better with Saquon, I think. And I was kind of mixing and matching the front end of the draft board a little bit this week, but I did end up rolling a shit ton of 101s, and I think it led to more Saquon than I actually wanted. And the fact that I had so much Saquon, I should have been like, well, at least just throw like 2 Jamal teams in there, and it wouldn't have fucking mattered. Saquon scored 4 points, and he wouldn't have got me home anyways. It's just like the thought process associated with it is like, well, if we're mixing in run backs from that game, why not him, right? Like, what other? There was no better bet other than Sun God, right?
Oh yeah,
That's
Sun God. Sorry, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. And and then the Tony Pollard one, like I'm kind of fine we didn't have him. Like, I thought he was a good play on DraftKings. Like, the guys that got there on DraftKings, it made a lot of sense because you got so much leverage because he was less than 7% owned, right? Like, he was like 6% owned, and it made a lot of sense to be like, okay, now you're creating leverage with a unique player who's only going to get 12 to 16 touches. But I don't think it made a ton of sense to be drafting him at a high frequency in the 6th round when Zeke was coming back, and you're buying like 10 touches in the 6th round when you can get those 10 touches from somebody else, right?
As soon as the news came out that like he is the starter and Zeke is going to be like mixed in, like I was jamming him in like 4th round. Like, I just like, I didn't care. Like, it was at that point, like I knew that I needed to make up for my lack of exposure. Obviously I wasn't expecting 30 points, but like I was jamming hard. And
yeah, I went the other way and started jamming trainwreck all morning.
Oh god, dude. Yeah, like they're just such a gross slate, and just certain when you got to search for answers like that. I mean, it's kind of hard to to fault you there, but the Ravens offense looks stuck big time.
Mm-hmm. To the I don't know if you guys played any of the afternoon one yesterday that's set up for the Sunday night times Monday night, so that you have a little bit of feel on the Monday night. But the first slate on the Thanksgiving docket is the stuffing one, which is tonight's San Francisco Arizona game, where San Francisco is now heavy favorites after Kyler Murray was ruled out this morning. Which is kind of unfortunate. I have a bit of them going from that other contest. And then the Buffalo-Detroit game, which is the first of the Thursday games that Thursday morning where Detroit always plays. Two fun games with a lot of high-profile talent, and you can really build some cool teams that you don't feel gross about in three-person drafts. Have you guys dove in here yet at all?
I looked at the rankings. Haven't drafted yet. Numi, do you have any teams in this one yet?
I have two.
Nice.
Yeah, it's tough because it's like I don't know how to play it, and I've been playing more towards the Bills and Lions side in both of them. So
okay.
Well, I know how I definitely want to play it, and how I want to play it is just Elijah Mitchell, like 100% exposure.
Oh, that's fun. I mean, he's free. He was free in the previous contest. He's free in this one. He's getting drafted at some frequency in the 5th/6th round. But a lot of people, because wide receiver looks so beautiful, and it looked even more so last night. So I'm speaking more to last night's contest, I guess, where like there was Allen, there was Williams, there was Tony, there was all these like wide receiver names on the slate. And then you factor in that there's two viable Arizona guys in Hopkins and Moore, and then there's Debo and Ayuk on the San Fran side, and everybody was gravitating to 3 wide receiver builds because it felt so much better than taking Elijah, right? So it was a very nice point of leverage there. I think running back isn't quite as strong or as deep on this one, so I think he'll probably be drafted at a higher frequency for the Monday, Thursday. But I still like the leverage you create off of CMC, but they can both get home in the same capacity they got home last week. And if this game plays to script where they do blow the doors off as like 6.5-point favorites, I actually didn't look back how
10.
the line, they're 10 now?
10.
Holy shit. Yeah. I mean, 10 on the implied points from 1 week season and 9.5 on Roto Grinders there. Wow. Yeah. So 10-point favorites. Like this just does scream, Elijah Mitchell for a whole second half.
That's what I'm thinking, right? Is if it plays out the way that Vegas expects it to. They're aware of McCaffrey's, injury history, and they have Elijah Mitchell. Shanahan loves Elijah Mitchell, by the way. You date back to last season. If you search like from Adam Levitan on Twitter and type in like Mitchell or Elijah or something, like he has a whole bunch of tweets about Shanahan quotes just talking up Elijah Mitchell and how much he just like loves that guy. He wants to give him the ball. So he only played, I think, 30% of snaps despite him like getting like a carry every time he was out on the field. But I'm expecting a lot of Elijah Mitchell tonight.
Okay. Numi, what else you liking?
Yeah, no, I haven't really thought about that in that aspect. So again, I did 2 of these like literally as they dropped. I did like one of every contest. So it was just kind of like just frantically while watching the game last night, just trying to pick all these. So
tilt scrolling.
Yeah. I'm not this one. I'm probably not going to do too many just because the two gamers for me are tough. It's just especially when it's like this script of the game. Basically, you have a just heavy favorites here, and then I don't know what the Bills Lions total is, but I mean I expect that to still be higher
53.
scoring. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm sorry, I meant to say their spread. I don't know how much they're giving Buffalo. If
9.
Okay, so I mean technically it's the same thing. So, but I just feel like for me it's like you would think Detroit at home could muster more than Colt McCoy on the road in Mexico, or I guess at a neutral site in Mexico City.
Yeah.
But, maybe that's where also some of the leverage is, because maybe other people are thinking the exact same thing. So, like, if that's my initial thought, maybe we've seen Colt McCoy do it. I think Hopkins was ruled he's going to be active, right? He's playing. So,
yep, Hopkins is in.
Who else do they have on there? I mean, they have James Conner. That's another way to play it. So, I'm curious your guys' thoughts on the James Conner coming back and then all of a sudden basically getting, Eno gone. So it looks like it's wheels up James Conner again.
It does.
Yeah, it does. It feels very much like that. And he doesn't get off the field. He's heavily involved in the pass catching role as well. One name that with the Colt McCoy transition that I want to bring up is Rondell Moore. Rondell Moore saw like some of his best usage of the year, and it was with Colt McCoy. And it kind of scares me because I was off of him last night because I was anticipating Kyler coming back, and I was kind of just heavy. My heavy Arizona stuff would have been like Trey McBride at punt tight end, and then either just a Connor script or a DeAndre Hopkins script. That was kind of it, and I was just kind of off Rondell. And now that he comes back with Colt McCoy, it's just kind of like if you see the games that he's played recently, these 7, 8, 9, one touchdown in that, but no 100-yard games yet. Low ADOT, just getting the ball out of your hand quickly. He's basically a glorified scat back, but playing the slot. And what does that do well for a quarterback who, is of replacement level caliber and backup? Well, that's the safety valve, right? And I think it's a very real possibility that we see like 8, 80, and 1 from Rondell tonight. And he is one of the pieces that you actually need from this game environment. And maybe he's the only piece from Arizona that you need, both at suppressed cost. But yeah, it's interesting. I think both these pass catchers can still get home with Colt McCoy. I'm not overly scared in the same capacity in which I would be if there was just a random backup quarterback coming in. Do you guys feel similarly?
Yeah, I think Colt McCoy is, like, as far as backup quarterbacks go, not the worst. And I definitely agree. Like, the way that they've used Rondell in these last few weeks, like, his usage has been pretty nice. And I'm with you with that thesis that, like, McCoy can just absolutely pepper Rondell. They're going to need him to break out and get a big play. Silas bringing up Trey McBride, I do want to see that first. And I would prefer to see that with Kyler, but definitely interesting.
The thing that ETR kept harping on with him was the usage and the routes run after Ertz went down. And it was like, oh my God, it was Ertz light. Like it was elite. You know what I mean? But nothing came to fruition from it, whether it comes to fruition with Colt McCoy. But he is going to have to be in play given the tight end slate, because the Lions basically don't have one, right?
No,
like
you don't want to play that.
Yeah. So he's going to be the third tight end off the board in the majority of these drafts because Kittle and Knox are going to go first, and he's basically going to be the de facto, mix in third tight end, which maybe that's all the Arizona exposure you want, but I don't know. Where do you come out, Numi?
I like it. In my first, I have them at both of my two. I just noticed. So
yeah.
I mean, I'm on the I think the whole Ertz light is what I've kind of got sold on. Plus, I just think. I don't know what my mind goes toward with backup quarterback and just using their tight end just as a safety blanket over and over again. Like that's my thought. It's
like the bro science, like back in your mind every time, right?
Yeah. It's like, it's just right there. And it's like, oh, so it just thrust him up. But yeah, I mean, obviously I'm not drafting him over the other two, but I mean, he's definitely the third tight end for me over Brock Wright and James Mitchell. It's like, take your pick over there. But, yeah, for me, it's I like McBride. This Cardinals game is interesting. It's just like I don't want to find myself getting so much exposure to it, but I'm gonna have to do it in pieces. And the three pieces that I'm like comfortable with, kind of at their price, would be Connor, and then like you said, Rondell, and then if I need to get something or just full fade it, but otherwise Trey McBride. Like that's how I see it. And then otherwise, just thinking myself, like, what if tonight we're looking at this and all of a sudden the Cardinals are just somehow they're putting it together, and it's like they have 2 touchdowns, and the other game, is just a little more of a ball. I don't know. I just thinking of outcomes. It's 2-game slate, so just build your lineups for telling a story, and you can definitely tell the story where you have more pieces of Arizona in there, or it like for me. Okay, so after Josh Allen, obviously you have Jimmy, but you have Colt McCoy, Jimmy, and Jared Goff. Like,
that's a real
Jimmy
decision point.
Yeah, is Jimmy a clear number 2 over those guys for you? Like,
No.
household name, yes, but like otherwise, like with the weapons he has, but like you said, we could theoretically see them just run it down their throats. And if Jimmy could put up look at the stat lines. Look at their stat lines. If you just look at their box scores, yeah, he has some 17s in there over the other guys, but yeah, that's interesting for me. It's like you could really find some leverage with the Colt McCoy, maybe. Because is this a 4 or 3 person draft?
3.
Yeah, so you could that it's
3.
really interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting here. It's like Josh Allen, and then what do you do with your quarterback? Like, for me, I would just wait till the end. Like,
no, I definitely agree with that. I think if you miss Josh Allen, you wait unless you have to build a very specific. And now this is where you have to be mindful of what the other person in the room's building, because if you see them stacking San Francisco and you know, okay, they're going to take Jimmy there, blah, 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 right? Like, then you can plan accordingly. But I do agree with the thesis of if it's not Josh Allen 101 or 102, it's just wait till your last pick to take quarterback.
I like that.
One thing that's interesting, I compiled yesterday's, like, of course, there's no projections. The one funky thing about Monday, Thursday is it's an entire new week and there is no projections for the Thursday. So you have projections for tonight. You have all the showdown analysis for tonight, and then you have nothing for Thursday. And it's just kind of piecing bro science in there.
Love it.
Which is a lot of fun. It does make these slates really enjoyable. But when I piece together the projections for, I'm going to pull them up real quick. Okay, I'll just pull them up for myself here. When I pieced together last night's projections, I had Kyler projected for 17.7 and Jimmy for 17.6 and ceiling 24.2 Kyler, 23.3 Jimmy. So just to illustrate the fact that, like, in my mind, I would normally equate Kyler as being like, a 102. Like, you know what I mean? It's Josh Allen and then it's Kyler and there's a huge divide and then it's Jimmy. I don't think that's necessarily true. And now I think moving into this slate and not having Kyler and not whatever, I think it's even more true that there's like less of a divide between the Goff McCoy tier, but maybe Jimmy sticks out a little bit if I had him ranked so closely to Kyler. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, the weapons for Jimmy, in theory, like, the same thing, I guess, for Colt McCoy. Like, Rondale could take one, he could pass one down, but you just, in theory, you would think Jimmy the public, my thinking of the public is going to be obviously where he's ranked, but it's the clear number 2 because it's easy to stack with CMC, Kittle, Debo, Ayuk. Like, that's 4 players that out there that you're like, all right, I'm just going to get that easy stack. So, it's just me. I've only done 2, so this is me thinking through basically strategy on the fly, like kind of how I think the public it's going to view it, just the mark when they go in there and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's really interesting.
I agree with that line of thinking. San Francisco has 5 players that could break the slate. They genuinely have 5, and I don't think they need Jimmy to get home. And I don't think so first of all, I don't think they need Jimmy to get home, and I don't think all of them can get home. So if I'm building out the San Fran side, I think I only want 2 of these pieces.
Like, are you saying 2 max? Like on a
2,
team?
Like, if I was setting like a showdown rule.
Okay, I thought you meant like, I only want 2 of these. I'm going to continue to draft them over and over. Okay, gotcha.
No. I would be setting a 2 max on rosters because I don't think Jimmy can get them all home. And maybe the exception would be like McCaffrey, Kittle, Debo. That might be the only exception.
If you can get it, yeah.
if you can get it, like, that might be the only exception in which I kind of take 3. But for me right now, it's McCaffrey and Kittle, just because of where ADPs are falling. And I think the positional leverage, because I think McCaffrey's the best play on the slate. I mean, Josh Allen and McCaffrey are the 2 best plays. And then I think Kittle is like a clear-cut, distinct advantage if we're taking the value above replacement drafting mindset, that Kittle is like that dude, right? So for me, that's kind of like where my mindset is with the San Francisco side. You guys agree, disagree?
I'm not gonna lie. I have like visions of primetime Colt McCoy in my head, and dog, like I'm dead ass. Like I'm like scared. I think this game is a trap game. I'm so serious,
God,
man.
I love it so much.
Primetime Colt McCoy. Like, don't you remember the last time
Texas
Colt McCoy
forever,
started?
baby.
Like,
I don't. You need to inform me.
Oh,
you need to inform me what
man.
happened with
All right,
primetime
well,
Colt McCoy.
after
Don't you
that
remember?
happened
Of course
with
I don't. It was Colt McCoy.
Oh my God. Come on. I remember being with my college buddies like, oh yeah, like let's go. Like I gotta find that game log. But
can you give me a team he was on?
And I feel like this Cardinals defense is I think it was either Washington or Arizona.
I think
it was a red jersey. I'm gonna look it up, man.
He has played for a lot of red jersey teams. That's funny.
Yeah.
So what I will say is I feel like this Arizona defense is a little underrated, and it might not be this like trampling that Vegas and everybody expects. So what do we do with that information? That to me is like, well, it makes me want to lean towards the Detroit, like the Detroit Buffalo side on this slate, because I can see this game sort of being a slog. Because, like I said, the 2 things: 1, I think Arizona defense is a little underrated, and 2, they got Colt McCoy as the QB, and the Niners defense is a little banged up, so they might lean on the run a little bit more. I'm just like a little skittish on everybody, on us being like, so like, and even I said off the top, like Elijah Mitchell, if this game plays out how we think, but you know, just treating this as a showdown slate where fading what the public is doing and going in a couple drafts, like we're going to see Niners getting thrusted up, and it feels really bad to take Cardinals as a hedge to that. But I think maybe as a contingency plan, maybe just like you said, John, 2 Niners max. Absolutely max.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah, I don't know what else to say right now. I think there's definitely a path to Goff on the run backs. I think there's definitely, but like it feels thin. I think I'm mixing in Swift late, as much as I've said that the usage is gross and the whatever.
Well,
like
what about Justin Jackson? What if Justin? Like the thing is, like you want
9 carries last week.
Yeah, I'm going to look at their usage and all that, and like he's literally out snap. I mean, granted, like the hurt, but like. I mean, I'm just looking at snap percentage. It's just interesting. You know what I mean? You want to just talk about guys that all of a sudden it's like just you in these, you got to remember, you're not looking for the guys that are putting up 30. Like you don't need everyone to absolutely, you can just get there with some guys getting you that median if you're sacrificing that position. And then the other guys are the ones that you needed. Like you go wide receiver, tight end. So Justin Jackson falling into the end zone isn't unrealistic. You know what I mean? Breaking off a run against this Bills defense. Like it's less pretty to imagine and like harder to imagine, but like it's in the realm of possibilities. Just
and
like
it's far more unique too.
Exactly. That's
my Swift thought process was this one right here. When I was watching that game and I was watching when they were going spread in the little hand in the dirt here, when they're going spread in the red zone there, that it was Swift as the back on the field. And they utilized him in that pass catching role in the red zone, which is very intriguing because we know he's a guy, ball in hand, ball in space, get it done kind of guy, right? Yeah. What do you guys say we jump into draft?
I'm into it.
Yeah. Actually, before we jump into draft, old John Boy's got a real nice sweat tonight. I'm being
let's see.
Nobody cares about your teams.
Yeah, it's true. Nobody cares about my teams.
Well,
I got a good one though.
Winnings.
I ended up cramming last night.
I see that.
I went to hockey though and didn't see that Palmer scored another touchdown, which I think was bad for me because I dropped to 27th here. So we're 11 points back, and we got CMC and Hopkins. I mean, that's kind of nice.
That's nice.
That is
I
real
had
nice.
Oh, you're
I
in
had
position, man.
this. I had this team or an iteration of this team with flipping Allen for Mike Will or flipping Allen for Eckler. I had that combination 7 times.
Wow.
Like I just fucking went all in, and Mike Williams killed me because I had 60-something% Mike Will, 58% Mike Will or something like that, and I'm still alive, and I'm still very alive. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked through the teams above me. I imagine at least one of them has Hopkins. I don't know that anybody else has CMC with Palmer with Kelsey, but we'll see. Yeah.
One thing we didn't talk about with this slate is on the Detroit side, Q tag for my boy Jameson Williams. And let me tell you something. I'm going to have a lot of Jameson Williams on this slate, man. If he's in there, okay. Oh boy.
That's interesting because there's definitely
he's going to play.
That's what I was about to ask. I was like, there's definitely a point to leverage in like the 6th round to get like that talent. But like we saw DJ Shark come back this week and DJ Shark did nothing. You know what I mean? So do we think Jameson Williams is going to come in here right away and ball?
Well, one thing you got to consider is DJ Shark's ass. And Jameson Williams is that guy. I think so, man. They've been really careful with Jameson Williams. Whenever his original timeline was up for the pup list, they were, they took it easy on him. Silas says no chance JMO plays.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. They won 3 games in a row.
It's a fun little name.
Dude, I don't know.
That's a fun name.
He's got a Q tag, so fuck it. I'm taking him.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, like if he's out and you get a late swap and you swap some of it to Shark, you swap some of it to whomever, like it's not terrible. Is Josh Allen your guys 101 here, or do you guys like CMC? Yeah, no, Josh Allen.
No, it has to be Josh. I mean, the low total sucks, but he's like unequivocally the separator on this slate.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that, and I think
he wants that turkey leg after the game.
Yeah, good take.
Yeah, he wants it.
Jeez, these drops are flying. Holy crap!
Yeah, they go very fast.
Okay, so we got Diggs, McCaffrey, and then interesting that Jimmy G goes there because something that we were talking that we wouldn't want to do.
Hopkins, I think we got to do. Like, it's just me.
Okay,
I don't think we should overthink that.
Yeah, okay.
I think Gabe will be there.
I think Gabe will be there. I think either that or we have another out though. So that fills it.
Okay, so you guys want to take Amon-Ra here?
I do.
Yeah. Get the bring back first kind of thing. Okay, sure.
Yeah, exactly. And we have the narrative. If we get Josh naked, well, it's like a Josh is rushing, or like Dawson Knox too. I was gonna
say available. Dawson Knox seems like a guy that could be standing right next to Josh Allen eating that.
We lose Gabe. And
very interesting build there. Like this guy's snap picking. He's a badged up player. Like he's clearly building. He already knows what he wants to build and like what's going to happen there. So we get Gabe and Knox ripped from us. Very interesting build.
So we're going to have to
go with the 3. I hope we get Ayuk here, I guess. Oh, we will, because he can't take another wide receiver.
I think that's the play.
Ayuk makes a lot of sense to me here. James Conner still on the board. Interesting. I'm not sure I really like to go the Jamal route with this build. We could go your Eli route, but I think this team lends itself.
I think we just take BPA. Like, let's go Ayuk and Connor. Like, let's just like take what the board's giving us here.
We are leaving then. So we are leaving them with our last choice of a tight end. So we're either going to get McBride or Detroit.
Okay. Well, I'm okay with leapfrogging this for McBride if we want, but
because we could in theory do McBride and then get Mitchell.
Yeah, what's the difference between Connor and Mitchell? I think
Connor is better,
but yeah.
With McBride's usage,
but I don't think he can't. No, they can't take running back. He needs to quarterback, tight end, and he needs 2 wideouts.
And he can't take running back. Yeah, good spot, Mimi. Good spot.
I mean, we do have what we just talked about, and we do have 3 Cardinals now. So, but I mean, I'm fine with it, I guess.
Well, we don't have to have 3 Cardinals either. Like, we could leave Connor undrafted, but like it does feel thin to leave him undrafted. James Cook's kind of a fun name. Like, we saw him get that 11 for 82. He looked really nice last week. He was utilized in the pass catching role, mixing that with Allen. But just in terms of value over replacement drafting and knowing that we're going to. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it in the future. I'm not going to do it in this build, just given the fact that we had some weird, unique thing fall to us because somebody took 2 tight ends on the end. Just knowing that it's going to be part of my portfolio in the future is more that what I'm speaking to. Is I do think there's some good merit in taking James Cook as both paired with Allen and as your one-off Bills piece late. I don't know. What if they blow the doors off them in the first quarter and a half, and then he's the guy who gets 15 touches in the same capacity that we're saying Eli Mitchell could get 15 touches to close the game, right?
Yeah. It does feel thin to me. But I don't know. I think here's the thing too. Like with that Cleveland game, like they leaned on the run so heavy, and it's like, was that because did they what was the game plan there? It was like, was it saving Josh's arm? Was it like, hey, they think we're gonna pass, like we know they're weak on the ground, let's just like run the shit out of the football, like it was just like a little strange. Like, yeah, they came out on top regardless, but I am just kind of like curious, like why they went the way that they did, even though it did work. Like Silas said, 25% of snaps for James Cook.
That's way lower than I would have thought.
I test wise, like James Cook is not blowing me away. Like I think Singletary is like better with the football in his hands as of right now. So it'll see. James Cook hopefully can earn himself a bigger role because I have so much of him in best ball. But I think that people are going to be chasing his last week's usage, and that's probably not the best analysis just by looking at his box score because it looks so good. It looks so good.
It does look good, yeah. I got 2 questions for you guys.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Shoot 'em.
Do we think Josh Allen's still hurt?
I think they want to be really careful.
Well, I think it's I think it's literally what GA just said. And I think it's the Bills are a smart organization and they literally know the Browns cannot stop the ball on the run. So they're like, we can run the ball. Like, we're just going to literally play the style of football and play to them and still win the game. Like, that's what I just feel like when I was going to say that, I feel like the Bills are just on another level of just organization when it comes to coaching or from top down, analytics, everything, being like identifying, being able to put that like, hey, we know they can't stop the run. We don't need to be our style offense for this game.
Yeah, and you can't stack the box against Buffalo.
Plus, if there's something little still banged up with the arm, we don't then have to say it. It kind of comes out with the game style, how it plays. Everyone, they can save it. All that wrapped in together. I think they're just like, you know what? Let's just run it over these fools. We know it can be done. And
I like that. And Blake brings up a good point in the chat too, that they missed a couple days of practice due to the snow and that sort of thing too.
All of it.
Simplify game plan. It does all make sense.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I was watching when I was drafting yesterday afternoon a little bit there. I was watching that live reaction show that Hayden, Josh, and Daigle do. And I think it was Josh who brought up the fact that, like, are we potentially seeing something like a changing of the guard with that offense where they're going to be more balanced, where they're just like, hey, nah, man, we can't win in the capacity that, the Bucs were trying to win by slinging it all over the field 56 times. Are we going to be more balanced and Singletary's going to hold more value going forward? I don't know. Just an interesting thought that I just wanted to bring to your guys' attention and get your feelings on.
And the chat real quick, bringing up Hines. Like, I think Hines, by looking at like what they've done, that is clearly like an insurance trade. Like maybe they're keeping him healthy because like they don't have much behind those guys, right? So, they want to make sure that they have a competent running back if something were to happen for their playoff run. Maybe they'll feel more comfortable unleashing him like in the playoffs, like maybe a nice little playoff best ball late round pick. But for me, that was just like clearly just making sure that they have competent running backs to fill in if something were to happen. Was kind of how I saw that trade.
Oh, you guys want to run another one here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're so fast. Dude.
I love
They're
this
so
slate.
fun.
The turkey slate, I think we're gonna do a little write up for that. That is a very, very tough slate.
It's a very tough draft room because it's not
yeah.
4, it's 6. Yeah, it's
Man,
tough.
that's really I don't love that at all.
I respect it though. I like it that it's going deeper into the player pool. I do feel it does lead you to max more because you're not going to like your teams and you're going to be searching for like those big teams and those big combinations that may not exist.
Yeah.
But I don't think there was any other way to do it if you wanted to make it 35K entries, right?
It's for me. It's just going to be really fun because you guys have played the Thanksgiving slate, so you build your lineup, and all of a sudden it's like you have a little bit of time to get the information between each game, so you can late swap.
Mm-hmm.
There's no late swapping or going on in this, so it's just like that's what makes these just so much fun. There's like you're like it's just like you, I don't know. It's just going to be like really identifying this game, how like telling the stories of the lineup and just games and how you think they're going to go and building that way, I think is going to be really key.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's where we have an edge, right? Like, I think that's where one of our largest edges as drafters is just knowing that, hey, each of these lineups, we have to paint a script, a picture, of whatever, opposed to just randomly putting things together. I like CMC over Diggs. Do you guys?
Yep.
Okay.
Without Allen. The one thing that I do worry about, and I don't think it's going to happen just because of how top heavy the turkey slate is like if someone gets like a really nutted combo where like you're in a weird draft room and like now you actually have somebody who goes in the 4th sometimes as your 6th pick, that can be really tilting.
Yeah.
But I don't see it. I don't think it's going to happen a lot just because it would just make so little sense. Sorry.
Do you guys like Amon-Ra, Debo? I don't think we go the Connor route with this one. We could go take the Singletary leverage, but I think it'll come back because I don't think Chris will take them. So we could also take Kittle and get ahead at tight end. Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's take Kittle. Let's get ahead at tight end. Let's picture this as our max 2 San Fran and a Jimmy team if we can get it.
A wise man once said on stream talked about the Cards tight end funnel. So I will just throw that little nugget in there,
Yeah.
Okay, there goes Jamal.
Yeah, that's interesting. So double Detroit run back off of the Allen there. I do like this as our leverage to that piece of the game there.
I think we gotta buck our thesis and go Debo, dude.
And just go 3 and just go.
We did just get what we were talking about, yeah.
Like this is kind of crazy, man. Right? Okay. To like, I mean, like when it comes to just like straight like talent, like the way that Debo can just run away with shit, like that doesn't take.
He needs
Jimmy volume. That doesn't take Jimmy volume, right? Exactly.
Sure. Okay. Now the question is here: it becomes a very obvious Jimmy stack spot, does it not?
Yeah, it does.
Do we do Connor as a bring back on all these touchdowns being scored, or do you like Gabe? Yeah,
I think Gabe because like Numi said, just like he's such like an event based player, right?
Right.
It's just like one thing can happen, and then like
25 or 12, or 25 or 5.
Yeah. And it's we can't leave Chris with Gabe. And
I mean,
and
I know Connor is getting still that pass game work and like all that. So like in theory, we can't go, oh, if it's the script is like this, they're not going to use Connor because I think they'll still use him.
Yeah.
But if we get Connor, then our lineup is really telling Connor hit, and then these other guys are well, he's still there. Goodness gracious.
That's interesting because I really wanted Rondell as the bring back on this, though the thesis of Rondell is not to speed up the game. I do think Connor probably speeds it up.
What's Moose's team look like?
I was just gonna say, can we trust him?
I don't think we can.
There's no other San Francisco player that he can take.
It totally fucks our team if we I think
if we miss Jimmy, it fucks it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, dude.
Okay, fine. Yeah, it's interesting because. I think in this situation, if I wasn't drafting on stream and I was drafting by myself, I would have taken that chance.
Yeah.
I would have gone like, yeah, you know what? I got these three
you've got
San Francisco. I got the stones to make sure that this guy is a badge player. He's
You've got
smart
triple
enough.
condom Nez with you, dude. Like it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Like
love it.
we're playing it unbelievably safe.
GM Steven.
That is the
Thanks for
greatest.
hanging out.
That is a quote that I
That's
needed on
11.
this Monday morning.
Hashtag 11. That's a ET.
Okay,
Right?
so now we kind of leave ourselves with the decision point here. I think Swift is a fun run back off of Gabe.
I think
Elijah
so too.
is piling on a little heavy for my liking. Double tight end with McBride is interesting, but it kind of sours the team a little bit. Somebody give me a name.
I like Swift, man.
I like Swift.
Like,
okay.
Fuck. Nobody believes in you. What are you gonna? Have you seen that that Michael Irvin clip? It's like people are attributing it. It's like a meme format now.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. But nobody believes in Swift right now, and the coaching staff might not believe in Swift, but like he still can like find his way into the end zone. Like, how long can they keep this dude down? Like,
right
in a game against Buffalo, like they're gonna be on the field a lot. So I really like that team we just built, man. That was nice.
That was fun. I think going 2 tight end might have been a little crazy because I'd like to think that the leverage of having 3 San Fran guys would be pretty significant already. So going with another tight end. But one thing when we were talking about McBride that we didn't actually say out loud and whatever is like he was a prolific receiving tight end at Colorado State. Like he was like college dominator of like 99 and that sort of type profile. Like he was like a big deal, like lead the team in receiving kind of tight end. So the profile is there to basically just 1-for-1 the Ertz role.
Yeah, everything lines up for him to be a smash, low key. I mean, like the way that Arizona plays football, like it should work out that Trey McBride is a smash, but these rookie tight ends, man, they just really, it seems like no matter what, like they just come along slower in the NFL. It's strange.
Hayden Winks is just sitting in the hangout waiting for Friday.
Yeah.
What
in our Discord? That's so funny. That's great.
Sorry, I need 1 second.
Hayden, if you're watching the Discord, like go in the other thread where that's all this stuff. The hangout thread is just for Fridays. That's funny. I love to see it.
I can't wait for CMC's 10 carries tonight.
Dude, I don't know. It's so weird, right? Like it's definitely within the range of outcomes.
Yeah.
Okay, we've seen this exact.
10 carries, 120 yards, and 2 tutties. You know, that's what I was getting at. No, but
we've seen this exact same start again. I'm tempted to go with the Amon-Ra and get it different this time. What do you think?
Let's do it for the stream equity, huh?
Yeah, I think in general too. Like it feels like a.
You just got to get the new combos. After. Yeah, get your new combos. Keep building.
Man, this guy is so heavy on the double tight end, the Knox, and he's done it twice now. This time with Allen. Just interesting of note.
He's snapping it though, so he's auto picking. Like he's autopilot, so these are preset ranks.
Yeah. Do we like Debo? Do we like a Singletary run back, or do we like a Gabe?
You do you here.
I think I like Debo. I think I like Debo. And then both. I don't think he's gonna take both of these guys.
At some point, like it would be for me. It's like this start is just seems very this start seems very gettable. So how many of these Debo Christian McCaffreys will you do until all of a sudden you're just like, okay, I keep getting this over and over. Like I just need to like figure it out and get, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
That's just my thought.
No, I agree with you there. It does seem very obtainable. So
and for me, it's just again. So everything I'm thinking of, I equate it back to the market. We could do Singletary here.
Who's our second wide receiver? I apologize.
Amon-Ra and Debo.
Gotcha.
And Christian McCaffrey. And then he took Jimmy G on the corner there, then took Gabe. So I think we take Singletary as a mini with the Amon-Ra. We got double San Fran, which isn't amazing for us, which means we could go Singletary here. We could go McBride as the run back, and then we could have our choice at quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we don't
because I do think just to be noteworthy in the future when we're in the room with whatever, I have no idea how to pronounce this guy's name. When we're in here with Mr. Z, that basically when he double taps tight end, that we're going to have some interesting decisions just in general, right?
Yeah, that's a jerk move.
Bully tight end.
John Boy's over here just like not. He's trying to keep it in, but he's just like, I love it so much.
Like,
I love it.
He's like, a John prodigy.
He's already on Twitter trying to find this guy. I want to shake your hand. I want to shake your hand.
How do you think we pronounce that dude's name? Basco Lesson?
Okay, let's talk about this conversation for 1 second here. I think there's a better path to Goff breaking the slate or being the piece you need at quarterback to match scores.
Wise man
like
just told
Jimmy
me
G.
about primetime Colt McCoy. So,
but I'm thinking in the context of this build that we paint the narrative of San Francisco smashing, but you don't need Jimmy, and then McCoy is the piece you need with McBride. I don't know.
Yeah,
does that make sense to you guys?
Because Goff is going to be here. Yeah, because when you think of it as from a projection standpoint, like McCoy and Goff, there's not going to be a big difference between the two, either in ceiling or median. And Goff is going to be taken so much more than Colt McCoy, so much more. So,
I think the ownership there would be
that
at
was the sharp
least
move.
6. Yeah, I think it'd be at least 60% higher in Goff's favor, right?
No, 100%. Like that's these are the ways that these small slates you can the three team tourneys getting different with your quarterback, getting different with. I mean, obviously this guy's doing it with bully tight end. So if your strategy is to have a portfolio of having a bully tight end, which in theory, it kind of gets gross, but it's not as gross. Where I think Nez talked about tight end on the main turkey slate was like bully tight end. There was kind of more. Is that what you were talking about? So
yes, sir.
It's just,
yes, sir.
It's interesting. So yeah, I mean,
okay, the best flex option is going to be like Hawkinson and Schultz. Like
you're talking about the turkey, about the main one.
I am talking about the main. I was talking about the main one for flex because, for God's sake, man, it is so thin. It is so thin. And maybe as drafters, we need a challenge because we've been drafting nothing but studs all year. You know, here you go. Here's a 6-man lobby. It's like Lord of the Flies, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Wild.
Yeah, sucks to my ass more. Classic Lord of the Flies line. The thing that I think is necessary here is because it's 34,000 people, it would be impossible to get a winner with just 4s. You know, it would be dupe central. So stretching it to 6-person drafts makes a lot of sense in my mind. Like when the contest size is that big. Granted, if it was, if the contest size was multiple 6,800 contests like this or multiple 5,600 contests like this, you could have got away with 4-person drafts. But yeah, a couple things here. I want to reiterate Silas's point here. 28 viewing. We got 31 viewing, only 8 likes. Please like and subscribe, follow, join that Discord. It does a lot for us. It's a lot of fun. This is just the tip of the iceberg. We're going to keep showing up
Truly.
and hoping. We're going to just keep showing up and hope people join, and we'll get a little bit better each time out. And this one's an interesting point. The Goff home road splits. Just in terms of the Lions in the dome versus the Lions not in the dome. We saw it on the road this weekend, but I think this is a great point that just, give me some Goff in the dome, right?
Yeah, you got to feel good about that. And the Bills defense just not being super duper stout.
Yeah, exactly. Numi, what are you asking me in the chat?
They are 3rd in pressure rate. So that's one thing we got to keep in mind is if they're going to be getting and pressuring and blitzing Goff. I don't know how much they blitz, but that's just one thing to keep in mind.
Okay, so that's an interesting split that we'll look at for the turkey slate there for sure. The splits of Goff versus pressure kind of thing. That's a good nugget to bring up. Let's jump in another one of these. These are fun. Let's rip, and they're so fast. Yeah, Newbie, what were you asking me in the private chat? Are we covering this today or tomorrow? What are you talking about?
I think the main slate.
Like the turkey.
Oh no, we'll do the turkey stuff
Yeah.
tomorrow. We'll just do the stuffing today. We'll do turkey slate tomorrow, and we'll talk about the other contests tomorrow. Maybe we just do one more of these, and then we can. I don't see Chip in the chat asking when hoops, but we might have to rip one or two Monday night hoops here. It's an 8-game slate tonight.
Chip might have sworn off hoops forever. He's been tilting hard. He's
really?
Mentioned. Yeah. He's had it with these fictitious injury reports and all that shit. Like he's down bad. I'm not gonna lie. But based on the looks, Chip, you can confirm or deny. I don't want to put feelings in your head.
Hey,
there.
I thought I put in 4 entries for Saturday, and I thought I was going to ship that hoop slate, that Reggie Jackson team. I had all the right pieces, and then the starters got taken out. I was at the
put in Reggie Jackson.
I was at the bar. And
he ain't coming in, but
everybody's they got the. I was watching the UCLA USC game, right?
Yeah.
And then the other TVs are all on the hockey game, like Saturday night, like hockey night in Canada is like a classic like Saturday night thing. And then I'm like, yo man, I really need you to find this Clippers game for me. Like, could you just like, come on,
hashtag never sweat though. Hashtag never sweat.
And then like the guy,
I can only imagine you at the bars, man. Oh my god,
dude.
He finally finds it. He puts it up on the TV for me, and I'm like, Reggie Jackson's already out. What the fuck, man? Like, I don't even want to watch this game anymore. You can change it back.
Can you turn that game off?
I love it, dude.
Oh man. Okay, let's.
If I wouldn't have got an 18 spot for freaking Kata Bates, that I would have had a real live shipping chance there on that NBA.
What do you guys think about this? We got a Josh Allen start here. I think almost everybody's thought process goes to trying to stack Allen right away, or at least get the run back with Amon-Ra right away. If we just take the two pieces from the other game environment, Kittle's already gone, CMC's already gone, Amon-Ra and Diggs already gone. Maybe we fall into Gabe Davis coming back our way. If not, Dawson Knox, and then we can pair. Yeah, I don't know. This is a fun one to figure out here. Yeah, Paul can sympathize with my situation there. This one. Okay, so Silas brings up the fact that there's a 0% rake tourney, 4-person drafts for the NFL main slate, but it's not on the homepage. It is a listener league. I would love to tell you it's for us. It is not. It's for Hayden and Josh's channel there. But there is, if you guys are EV hunting, there's nothing better than rake-free contests. You do have to click on this NFL tab here, and then it is.
You got to change the slate.
Oh, sorry, my bad. It's on mobile. You can find it much faster. It just pops to the top.
Main slate.
Main slate.
Yep.
There you go, and it's right here. And it's kind of they made it in a little tricky spot there. We're probably on the clock now.
3 entry max. Yep.
Yeah, 3 entry max. Just go draft a couple of those. Support their show. Get that rake free EV. And the more that we fill those, the more we'll get them in the future.
Yep.
What do you guys think about Knox and
Definitely
Jamal
Knox.
Williams?
I like it.
Yeah, we get that little bring back and run, or we get the stack and then the bring back. Newmy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can do Jamal.
Well, it doesn't sound very confident.
You just heard him, man. He's
I'm fine with it. No, get you. I'll be mixing in Jamal.
I know you're just so much more level-headed than us when it comes to the recency bias of those touchdowns.
No, dude, Jamal Williams. I think someone put it on the chat, and I saw it too. He's on his LeGarrette Blount season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my only thing was, and you could do it for any play, any stat, any game, anything you want. Like if they don't fall down, and they can fall down 4 more times on this game, because the Bills defense stops them, and then Jamal just walks his way in. Like, so I'm just sitting here like, dunce hat, you know. I'm you touting the freaking Steelers, but no,
don't bring me into this.
No, I'm not totally like off Jamal. It's just for me, I always just maybe it's the way I do it. Like I see Swift down there, who's interesting, who went. Don't get me wrong, and then Justin Jackson. It's like for me, it's like I'll like for your thing, I'll mix in some Justin Jackson. Like you're gonna mix in some Elijah Mitchell. You know what I mean? Like
let's talk about this for a second. We do have Brandon Ayuk still on the board. We would go double San Francisco wide receivers. He probably projects better. I think in the script of this game that Elijah makes more sense for this lineup. Do you guys agree or no?
Agreed.
I like it.
I would probably rather do Debo or Ayuk. I don't think I would want to do both without having Jimmy.
Without
you guys want
Jimmy,
some breaking news?
Yeah, we do. Let's hear it.
Denver has waived veteran running back Melvin Gordon.
Wow.
Yo.
They should have done that. They should have done that before the season started.
Yo. Where does he go, huh? Kansas City?
Free Rojo, man. Free
CEH with the high ankle?
Yeah, the CEH.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Dude, I threw out a tweet there last night that, like, let's talk about Pacheco for a second. I was watching the Grey Cup because I'm a fucking true Canadian. I was watching some good-ass football.
Good for you.
Actually, let me talk about the Grey Cup for, like, let me have my moment for, like, 1 minute. 1 minute, okay? So there's a 3-minute warning instead of a 2-minute warning in the CFL, right? And then after that, it's you put me on the clock. But after that, then there's like it's like college football where the clock is stopped. Like when the ball goes down, like the clock only starts again to go. So the last 3 minutes, like without timeouts, like you can still have a lot of crazy shit happen. Anyways, Chad Kelly, like Mr. Irrelevant, Ole Miss quarterback, like whatever. He's the backup quarterback for the huge underdog Argonauts team. And he comes into the game to like lead the charge from down 10 to come all the way back. And it's a fucking Chad Kelly, like walk-off style game. Anyways, they get the ball back. They have like an interception and they're going to kick a field goal. Then the field goal gets blocked. So then it's a 1-point game at this point. Bombers go back the other way. What looks like going to be game over on a sack. Dude rips face mask, gets a penalty. They come all the way back down, field goal range. Okay, hold on. They come all the way back down, field goal range. And the dude who got the face mask penalty on like the third down that like should have ended the game with a sack there, took that penalty. Then he blocks the other field goal. So and then they walk off and win there. And then Chad Kelly takes a sweet kneel down to end the game. So it was so fun because Chad Kelly, come on, like that's so goated. And then you just like, it was back-to-back blocked field goals and okay, that's it. All right, whatever. Wait,
that's a big deal, man. Is that the same? That's Swag Kelly, right?
Yes, that's why it's cool.
Yeah,
it's Swag Kelly coming off the bench, man. Like,
man, that's actually, that's bad. When you said, I was like, I think that's Swag. Yeah, Swag Kelly.
Like Mr. Irrelevant, like drafted by the Broncos with the last pick in the NFL draft. Like that's Swag Kelly. Like preseason NFL DFS legend Swag Kelly.
Good for him. Good for
him. Is anyone following this?
That was
the agreement. Finally, the game ended.
Whatever. You guys put some respect on Swag Kelly's name, man. That's a great great story.
Put some respect on his name when you would put some respect on Joe Burrow's name, bud.
Oh god.
It wasn't a Joe Burrow thesis, it was forget it.
Guys, I'm addicted to this stuffing draft and we're talking football right now. Let's one last one here. They're so fast.
I want to say something silly. If you go back to the after this draft goes, if you go to the homepage, can we look at the stuffing real quick? It always looks like cookie dough to me.
It does look like cookie dough.
I'm a little salty.
It doesn't look like
the same
stuffing.
thing as the leftovers, and then they just have mashed potatoes can be had. I'm like, so what is it? Stuffing or mashed potatoes? Like, what are we doing?
Mashed potatoes can last. Yeah. That's funny. They're working on it right now.
Someone on that. Yeah. Oaks, where are you at, man?
A new picture is gonna come up for the leftovers. It's gonna be like whiter, like mashed potato.
The leftovers is always turkey sandwich, man. Like the leftovers is turkey sandwich. It's like
leftovers is everything on a plate.
Soup. No. That's that first leftovers. That's second dinner. Yeah.
But when you take that like turkey. Yeah.
First dinner, second dinner.
Well, you already
then
had
it's
Thanksgiving,
leftovers.
right?
Yeah. Thanksgiving's October. October.
So you're just gonna be like, you guys are just like, what the hell? This is a normal Thursday over here. What are we doing?
Yeah. No, that's a great. Yeah, I mean, I celebrate by proxy there.
You should.
Actually, we
You
normally get together and like watch the ball games together, like the buddies and stuff, and we normally just like order fried chicken or something like that.
That's cool. Did you know? Speaking of fried chicken, in Japan, I had brunch with a guy that was in the Marine Corps, like what Mark was doing. Like he was he was flying planes and shit. He has to go to Japan. He was telling me in Japan they go crazy for KFC on Christmas. That is like you have to order that like 6 weeks ahead of time if you want your KFC on Christmas.
Wow,
that is
that's
like
interesting. That's like
that is insane.
Yeah,
that makes me want to do it.
Yeah,
like, I want to do it here. Let's bring it to the States.
That's good.
So
you just gotta find a way.
Doing us a favor.
Let's just tell a weird story, huh?
I think we got to do Gabe this time.
Yeah,
like
I think we got
fool me once,
Bill's
fool me
onslaught.
twice. I wish.
Let's do it. Okay, let's do Gabe.
Okay, I was gonna do Singletary and Gabe. This Bill's onslaught. This. That's knocks on the next one.
Yeah, my problem is I think Singletary's more of like a real running back now than opposed to like the Tony Pollard type, where there is negative correlation between rushing touchdowns of your.
Not if they just score 40 points.
Yeah, I mean,
and no one else
on a
tops
2-game
like 20.
slate.
Yeah.
2-game slate if they score 40.
But I totally agree with you that he is in a larger slate. He's not the running back that you would previously
naturally pair.
When he had that. Yeah. So, but on a 2-game slate, like you could think about it and just if you could map it out and just say each time you build a lineup, like this game was 20 to whatever. This happened here. No one really scored. Like, and in theory, it could just. I mean, of course, but like the Bills could just have that game. The Lions and Bills could just have that shootout where like you don't even need anything from the other game.
It's still available to us.
James, okay. I think let's do it, man. Why not?
You want to? Why
I mean,
not?
Dawson Knox is 100% yes.
We don't even have to do Singletary if you don't want. We could do the James Cook role and get someone else. Get Rondale.
Do the James Cook role and do so. No, I don't like that. I prefer doing this and then hoping another wide receiver falls to us.
Yeah,
actually,
no. I was
no.
gonna say you could do Rondale and get James Cook. So
I think Ayuk or Rondale. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
I just clicked the first name.
Because
I think Rondale's probably a better play than Ayuk in a vacuum. I think if I had more time there, I would have agreed with Numi and I would have taken Rondale. But like, I was just thinking about it. I think there's a better chance that Singletary comes back to us than one of those two wide receivers comes back to us. Yeah, I think that was like looking at the board there. It's like only one more running back can be drafted, and it literally had to be by him right there. Now, granted, drafting with two non-badge players, two most likely recreational players, they're probably just going to take the highest player in ADP. One thing I did want to note is that he went with this unorthodox way of getting CMC, then Jimmy, when he shouldn't have done this here because we had quarterback, and then still wound up with Debo back here. So I do kind of think that this Debo CMC, Debo's getting incredibly disrespected and discredited in these drafts.
Yeah.
I kind of like doing this now. But you could twist my arm into the James Cook blowout.
That would have been fun to have a Mitchell and then Rondale. But either pick yours. I'm fine with it either.
I'm an Eli.
I mean, in theory. I mean, in theory, I need to stop saying that. I mean, it could just be San Francisco just destroys them. And the Vegas thinks so. You know what I mean? So
yeah, more or less. Yeah, just got jealous of Thanksgiving and just take the holiday.
Whatever.
Oh man. Mashed potato on a pizza crust and gravy over it. So we're talking mashed potato pizza with stuffing and turkey and then gravy. This is interesting. That's a fun little idea for leftovers. There's no cheese then, right? Is there cheese?
I don't think. No, that's overkill. No, but I would eat the hell out of that.
Yeah,
that sounds delicious. Might need to get a pizza crust just for ahead of time.
That's interesting.
I'm making this fireside for my in-laws. It's like cheesy potatoes. So we're like dicing some potatoes, some cheese. I think some like I got to look at the recipe. I haven't seen the recipe yet, but you
like
put
breadcrumbs on top, kind of thing.
Yeah, son.
Yeah,
like, it goes hard.
Good.
I've seen them called funeral potatoes online, and like I don't.
Cheesy potatoes go hard with some
Okay,
like
so like
flakes crushed up on top. Yeah,
that's what I'm making for the
my mom makes cheesy potatoes and cornflake chicken, not like for Thanksgiving, but just in general.
Yeah.
No,
excellent texture.
That pizza just sounded like a more bomb pot pie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
Open face pot pie.
Yeah, it literally without the pie crust, it's the pizza crust. So
it's got
I can't click Diggs's name over CMC.
Well, we know who John's gonna have 80% exposure to, and then all of a sudden he's gonna go, this can't be good, right? When all of a sudden he doesn't do anything. Hey, CMC, everyone. No, just kidding.
No, it just feels really
tweet.
Just doesn't feel right.
Okay, let's get different here. We got to get weird somehow.
Anything other than the second pick? Like, jeez.
Right. Yeah, we've just wound up with the same build over and over again right now. I think Debo in a vacuum is my favorite player here. What if we do something like Gabe Davis and take Gabe Davis away from the Allen stack and then just kind of that's the piece you need? I don't know. Let's get weird. Let's try this. Who cares?
Yeah. I'm into it.
Nobody was saying Gabe anything, Davis so I just kind of kept talking.
Yeah, we were like
Kittle went, which is
I liked it though.
Kittle went, which is unfortunate because that was kind of like my plan. I think we take Debo and then hope we get something else on the way back. Do you guys agree? Disagree? We could take Rondell. I don't know. Give me some names. What do you guys like? I think you can do anything.
I'm so deep. Like I can't stand Debo like being here.
Mm-hmm.
I have to I need him.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
It's
because I think everyone's going to be sucked into these builds. Like I really
right.
Do.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean,
well, he takes Goff, which does wonders
wrong
for us.
Is it wrong? No. Does it make sense? Yes. Should I honestly, but like just in terms of just getting different and not having the same teams with a couple 1v1s and just having a completely different build.
Connor, he's already taken tight end. So if we take Connor and then we get Knox coming back.
So are we doing
and
McCoy
then we get,
or Jimmy? We're doing Jimmy?
This is a Jimmy team.
Okay.
Because we got left with Jimmy because he just took Goff right here. So it's a Jimmy team. He gave us the Jimmy. We're going to have the Jimmy double with the Debo and CMC. We're not going to get over our rule. We're going to have Connor as the run back on that side. We're going to have Gabe as the piece you need. And then he goes double tight end and fucks us. Which is unfortunate because I thought Knox would have been a really fun way to get different there. And now we end up with double Arizona, which I don't love as much.
That's why I was going to say, like, if this was another McCoy team.
Yeah. I think it's a Jimmy team though, because like if the thesis of Jimmy is throwing the ball to CMC, throwing the ball to Debo, like those little dump off passes and stuff like that, more so than I think McCoy throwing to Connor is. Yep. Like I think the thesis with Connor is 2 goal line carries. I don't know. We know he's going to be involved in the passing game. We know he's going to be out there a lot, but Brett noting that there's a ton of no badges this morning. That's because all the badges went broke yesterday playing the best plays, and now the no badges are the ones with all the money. So
it's literally what happened. That's the morale is so low.
Yeah, that's why we had to come back here. We had to draft a bunch of shit. We had to build everybody back up. We have to no tilting. No living on soft tilt. The principle of soft tilt is what I call it, where you have like multiple losing sessions in a row, and then you're just thinking about losing while building the next opportunity to win. None of this head down, none of this head in the gutter. Numi, get your chin up, son. Come on, man. What are we doing here?
He's sniffling, man. He's going through it too.
Yeah. Let's do one hoops and call it. Is there anything you want to say about the slate in general? Anyone who's not in the Deposit Kingdom Discord, get in there. Numi's been dropping his hoop sheet in there. Beautiful, valuable, great stuff. Beautiful, valuable resource that you can't. We should be charging for this stuff, man. It's crazy out here.
Yeah.
But
Paul
let's
George is
see.
the decision making basically for this.
Where,
but you can look
yeah, let's see here.
in the pins.
It's in the pins.
Yep, and I just update the sheet.
Here we go. So Numi's given us this beautiful workbook to work off of here. It's got ceiling projections, everything in here. Like literally, you could just upload this auto draft, and you're probably going to be damn near. I don't want to guarantee you'll be plus EV, but like, I mean, it's the thesis is there, right? But there's a lot of Q tags today, right?
No,
is that what I'm looking at?
There's not many Q tags. So
the inverse,
the biggest,
good.
The highest Q tag right now that we have to deal with is Paul George. But like I told Nez, it's also our biggest decision point because the game is 2.5 hours later than all of the other games. 10:30 Eastern, and then versus like all of them are tipped off before 8.
Okay.
So he has an ADP, and this is I did this before the show, so I think probably it's updated slightly. So if you're looking at it like it's something off, but he has an ADP. It's looking like the mid third round. He's been a click for me a lot just because of his ceiling and the way that you can just tell right there. The negative means that they have a higher rank towards their projections than they do for ADP. So that's just a quick little thing.
Okay.
And that's
You're
like the biggest.
About the second column over here in the blue right here.
Blue will be your median, and green will always be your ceiling. Just if you ever using the sheet. So then so he just has basically a 6. You can just check that out too. It's right there. And then right to your right too, I just put the totals in for the games, so you can just quickly check those out.
Beautiful.
And see those out. Those are very helpful just to know where more fantasy points are going to be scored. This is helpful for on smaller slates or just that, because then you can. I'm more advantageous to get multiple guys from the same team in the top 4 and above, top say 6 and above, or 5, with the Atlanta, Cleveland being like the cutoff. So
of game environments, you're saying.
Correct. Yeah. So like I'm all right with getting 2 guys from those other. I know like a 222 total, but Utah and Clippers, like it's just Clipper play has like the best defense in the NBA, if not 2. So they just play their opponents down. So yeah, just interesting things like that. But the biggest decision point for this site is Paul George. And then we have Wendell Carter, who's down there as well. I've sent Nez a couple things. Just basically the usage rates of players kind of go in and out.
What is this holding out? Just put it in the group for everyone. I want to enjoy usage rates. I love
it. It was in the middle of conversing.
The middle of conversation.
Yeah, what are you guys having conversations without me for? Come on.
Okay. This is where I get my fandom out, but
there you go.
Yeah,
big shout.
Buddy, I was
gonna come from the spread virgin himself. There you go.
I'm gonna hit you up there. I'm gonna hit you up there, Chris, because I got some things that I think that can spruce it up, make it a little more automated. And I think you know how to do that, Mr. Excel Wizard yourself. So I'm gonna be hitting your line actually right after this show. But yeah, no, it's just the only other thing besides this is Zion's probable. I'm gonna take that as he's playing. Like probable is playing in the NBA.
He played last night. He played last night, right? Yeah.
Yes, and that's what I was gonna go. There were some back-to-backs as well in the NBA tonight, which I'm pretty sure I had them written down. It was the Knicks, I thought. Yeah, so the Knicks are on a back-to-back. Yep. The Pelicans are not on a back-to-back. The Knicks and the Warriors are on a back-to-back, and the Heat are on a back-to-back, and the Heat are decimated.
Oh, I can't write on here. Okay, so Knicks are on a back-to-back. Warriors are back-to-back, and who?
The Heat, who are decimated.
Okay.
I think they got more people back. I think the recent report that actually just came on my phone was some people.
Had 7 active players on Friday night.
Yeah, and I think didn't they make that a close game
Thursday night?
I thought something, but yeah, I know it just got updated. So yeah, Jimmy's out, Tyler Hero's out, Gabe Vincent's questionable, Bam's questionable, Dwayne Dedmon's questionable, and they got upgraded to questionable, and Duncan Robinson. So. Okay. Yeah.
My headphones are gonna die here. Give me 1 second. I'll just let's jump in one here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll keep the sheet.
That's so much for the Heat. Like I don't even like where do you go? Is it Jovic? Is it a Jovic day?
Yeah, so the Heat is just tough. Like it's kind of like play it by ear. So I'll check here just to see what they have for projections, because they like to basically pre-project players in and out, and then they just update after that. So here, yeah, Jovic is not the guy you're gonna want.
Yeah,
it's not the guy. So for the Heat, we're looking at Bam, who is very low. Like, so I'm pretty sure Bam has like a 15 ADP. I have to look at my sheet here.
Whoa.
Bam, 20.5 ADP. So, and just for basically the projections I use, he's up there in top 10 for just ceiling projection. So that's something very interesting to take note of.
Sorry, who was that? Maybe I just missed that. The top 10. Who's up there in the top 10?
Bam is 20.5 in ADP, but 10 in ceiling.
Okay.
So, yeah, one thing that, so if you guys ever like it with that sheet, I'll have to change it so it's not view. I think if you guys just want to basically make a copy of that sheet.
Make a copy of the sheet.
Yep, make a copy of the sheet, download it, then you can edit it and sort yourself.
Okay.
And
then, otherwise we'll all be like sorting on top of one another. It'll be ugly.
And then I will let you know.
Big shouts to Nick here, hanging out in the chat one last night. Yeah. Congrats. There you go.
Oh, let's go, baby.
Hoop guy.
I wasn't in hoops last night. What's his screen name?
It was, I'll have to go look because I got dusted because I had no clay. I didn't do many lineups.
Fair enough.
NBA, his screen name is. Oh, yeah. N. So it's, is that his last name? Yeah. It's just M and his last name.
Perfect.
So I've seen him in there quite a bit. Already a red badged up, ready to go. Love it.
Do we like Donovan Mitchell going second? Wow. Do we like Steph or Shea?
So yeah, it's no Clay. Obviously, either one here. It's just I'm gonna have to rotate them back and forth to kind of get even exposure.
Okay, we're taking Shea because he's Canadian.
Yeah, Steph with no Clay. Steph with no Clay, like it makes total sense. Like it's just they're on a back-to-back, and aren't they? Who are they playing again? Houston? No, Pelicans. So.
Good win, Nick. That's sick.
SGA is MVP, dude. It is what it is.
He's absolutely insane. He's absolutely
Big John second in the Deposit Kingdom. DFS. Good shot.
Big John's Deposit Kingdom lineup was awesome.
Yeah,
a double Amari DPJ, no Brissett, no Bills.
Yeah. Love to see it.
Dude,
big nuts.
SGA this year is in a 98th percentile for expected plus minus. He's literally in like top 75 percentile in like all of these other like top tier stats. He's just absolutely balling.
I tried to trade him in my categories managed league, and I tried to get SGA for Embiid, and the guy said no.
Yeah, you want to talk about fantasy purposes? His career before this, sorry, we'll make the pick. Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I think just the two Jays with the guards, like with all the guards in Boston, like out, questionable, whatever. Like just the two Jays jump off the sheet to me.
If you go to the sheet, like he'll always be bumped down a little bit, and like there'll be guys projected like higher than him. But it's just like if you want exposure to Jaylen, who's going to be consistently getting you those points, you just hopefully need to get him that ceiling game. So, dude, Shea. Literally, he's had like average like 1.5 for steals, like steal percentage, and then like a 1.8 steal or block percentage. This year, he's averaging 2.3 steal percentage and 3.5 block percentage, in like the top 80th percentile for those. He's just balling out in fantasy.
Is that unreal. Sustainable?
In theory, you would look at his career stats and you would say no. But I mean, he's just absolutely on another worldly level, so he could take that leap. Like they have no one on the OKC Thunder that's gonna take him. That's gonna take that away from him. So this is where you're left with the decision.
Do we lean into this, or what do you like?
We can. You definitely can. I like DeMar.
I like Zion, probably, or DeMar. Yeah, go listen to Numi, dude. He's so much better at me than hoops.
Okay, let's take DeMar. And then if we get left with the Paul George decision in the fourth, it's an auto click. But I think that's kind of like just to illustrate the point of this slate, that the crucial decision point is third round George, is it not?
And Yeah, and Bam, if you don't get a nice badge at that corner, Bam's ADP will rise because people are taking him at that 2-3 turn. So if you want to get Bam at a lower price, now's your time to do it.
Okay. Yeah, Rorschach, good player.
Dude, so good. He's up
really
top 10 like every goddamn night.
Yeah, and Tilted Bob was always playing the 2-game slates and the hoop slates. Good player as well.
You want to talk about usage percentage? Anthony Simons without Dame.
Oh, baby, nobody runs purer than me.
Anthony Simons without Dame this season has a 33% usage percentage, a 7 higher than anyone else, and the most minutes without him too. So something that's really interesting.
What do we think about this? Marcus Smart not on the injury report. That's an interesting little name. Like he's not one of those. I
think he's
not one of those big sexy players that you want. But I think I'm thinking about it more in the context of how that impacts the minutes of Jalen and Tatum.
I have a name here. I hope he falls.
Sure.
I'm just not gonna say it because he's right there.
Yeah, I'm into the Magic against the Pacers. Lots of players on the Magic I like, and I'm really into Justice Winslow for the Trailblazers without Dame.
Bull's a dude now, huh? That's crazy.
I mean,
I said these lines.
He is. Where is that? He's a 7.4% block percentage this year. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I was under the impression, Chip, that Smart was still out because the last slate I played, Smart was still out. So
yeah,
that's classic John Boy not being up on his hoops knowledge. That's where I get beat.
And it's
that's why I brought it up. That's why I brought it up, because I was like, does that impact? Like, should we be more worrisome about taking Jalen in the second round?
I think it kind of shifts his median outcomes to the left a little bit, like it definitely hurt, but like he can still get there.
I think we go Jared Allen here.
What's up with Mobley though, dog? Is
Mobley there?
No, Mobley went at 21. I'm looking at Mobley there. Am I Mobley's blind? There for sure. Where's Bam gone? Oh, Bam went at the second, like whatever. I was just getting a feel of where he goes. Yeah.
Yeah, Bam is
Oh geez, I guess I'm gonna be doing this hoop slate. There's some nice names there.
Jared Allen is so athletic. Like he is so athletic.
He can jump out the goddamn gym. I don't know if you saw that clip of him jumping to whenever he greeted Kevin Love. Like did like a long jump. Like it was insane. It looked like a freaking like cheetah. I don't know if you've ever seen like a cheetah jump in slow motion. It looks like they're floating.
I've seen Tyreek Hill, yeah. Okay. All right. Hold up. Okay. Giannis Antetokounmpo is now listed as probable. That's better than questionable, but he's now listed probable. So that's just something to like.
I thought he went from like doubtful to probable.
He's still 101. Yeah.
Yeah. He's still 101. I don't know what that changes. It's just to know it. Just.
Okay.
We're on the topic of hoops. Just know that. Like, it's a probable tag, so I really don't. I see that as just like they're putting it on there, but I don't. Anything that's a downgrade. I mean, me and Chip are having PTSD right now. Like we're back. Like we're just about to freaking just lose it. So
let's look at this board for a second here. I just want to talk about just get a feel for the slate, seeing as though I hadn't done one yet, and whatever. What kind of names are popping out here as like kind of good pieces, good values, good whatever. Like this looks like a pretty strong, straightforward draft from everybody. The Donovan Mitchell at 2 jumps out to me as kind of odd. But it's not crazy.
I'm gonna go off the sheet and this board too. Us getting Jared Allen, highest difference of 16 ceiling rank versus a 34 ADP.
Interesting. Okay.
Bam Adebayo, 10 ceiling rank versus the 20. Did Wendell Carter go?
Wendell Carter, unless he went with the last pick, did
very
not
interesting
go.
Pick that is kind of also then boosts your Bol, and then doesn't really do much to him. A little bit of a downgrade, not that much, but then if he's out, may Bol just shoot up in theory.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah. So
what about Mo Bamba?
he becomes a play when Wendell Carter is out.
Is ruled out. Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds
otherwise
good.
I'm not good. Rudy Gobert popping in projections again
Okay.
as one of the lower Timberwolves. Josh Giddey, I mean, he's always in play.
Yeah, Brett brought up the question, would you rather stack Allen with Garland or Giddey with SGA?
Man.
Allen Garland seems like better together and don't cannibalize one another.
So,
Giddey and SGA feel like they cannibalize one another a little bit. No,
they do definitely cannibalize each other a little bit because if one's going to be dishing and assisting, the other one most likely. I mean, they have. I'll have to check at their minutes and see if they're staggering still because they were starting to stagger. But being in the the highest total game, I think just because it's SGA, I might lean SGA and Giddey.
Okay. One thing I'll say about the staggering of minutes as Atlanta, I'm warming up to the notion of playing Trey and DeJounte together on these builds because they have been staggering. They've been staggering. They've been starting and then staggering like pretty heavily most recently. So I noted that. I wrote that down in my hoops sheet.
Love it.
Bam was a downgrade to questionable.
Okay, good to know. Yeah. So I mean, at what's our tipping point for Bam then? Are we still taking him in the third, fourth round?
He was already questionable coming in. No, he wasn't. Was he?
Let me try to see what the latest is.
I'm just dumb right now. Give me one
Nick,
second.
No,
he wasn't. He's questionable.
Yep, that's interesting, Chip. Thank you. Doing a show and not trying to look at the news things that come in. It was a big
the
feed.
Heat.
Oh, so
it's +9 now.
Levert's out. Dane Wade's out. Kevin Love is questionable. That definitely makes Jared Allen and Mobley even better. I also really like that take right here. Yeah, the Clint Capella is a great take because he's most likely going to have to play big, and John Collins is not a rebounder. So,
yeah, did you see that they're thinking about trading him? Like all those rumors about
they've
him
been
being on the block.
Talking about they've been talking
who the
about
hell's going to take that contract
for so long. They were talking about trading him. He was having a riff with them because of Trae Young. Then they signed him to the contract to basically shut him up, and now they're just like, we really don't want him.
Yeah, right. So, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I like this shout. I like this shout, Brett. Lowry night part 2. I mean, we could see an 8-player team from the Heat again. Like if Tyler Hero doesn't go, if Bam doesn't go, all of a sudden we see exactly what we saw on what was it, Thursday night, something
Hero's
like
out.
that.
Hero's out.
Hero's Q tag still on the site. Maybe I just needed to refresh. Okay.
Did he get upgraded to questionable?
I don't know. I saw him as Q tag when we were drafting there. Let's just jump in one more draft here and then call her a show.
We gotta watch the World Cup, man. 1 o'clock.
Oh, USA plays. Yeah.
Yep.
Still got Hero.
USA.
You gotta come down below the border, man.
Dude, when I used to go to, so there's a country music festival. There's 3 that I used to go to like quite frequently. There was one for the AMAs in Vegas. There was one at it's called Watershed that's at the Gorge in Seattle there. Like beautiful outdoor venue, like whatever. And we would go there, and like every time, like they thanking the troops and all that stuff, I was the fucking guy starting the USA chat because I'm addicted to firing people up, and I'm addicted to screaming in public. So I would just be like, USA, USA, and like guys would be like high fiving me and like all this stuff, and I'd be like, yeah,
like wildfire. People love that shit.
Especially at a country show. Holy shit!
My God, a couple beers in them. Holy shit! You just made 20 friends in a matter of seconds.
That's why I would do it.
Yeah, you just made 20 friends and got supplied beer for the rest of the night.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they hear you say sorry once, and they're like,
"This motherfucker."
I'm just Minnesotan. I'm Minnesotan. Yeah. It's all good. I'm way up close to the border there, eh?
USA chance never a bad move. Not even for a Canadian. There you go. It's a sick move. Ooh, Tilted Bob. I've noticed Bob this with
always in here.
Yeah, I've noticed Tilted Bob. He always does like something unique. I always respect it. Like, whether it's right or wrong,
he's
he
now
always
into
does
Giannis
something.
probable, and he's like, he's going to be out now, and I'm just like, I'm going to be the fish that keeps taking him.
It's SGA is that game in New York or at OKC?
I think it's at OKC.
I was gonna say at the Mecca, man. SGA gonna ball out, but at home maybe he's gonna be a little more apathetic.
The Mecca is now in OKC.
Just at the peak.
Yeah, at the peak, baby.
Yeah.
Meet me at the peak.
Yeah, they're 2-point favorites at home. They're on the right hand side, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean, when you got Lou Dort out there, I would
8 o'clock. Oh shoot, we're on the clock. Trey.
Yeah, that seems like a good choice. Although Tyrese is that dog.
Is that game total like 260 or what? This just seems like
I'll have to
a gas can of a total.
I'm gonna get a new Fantasy Vegas totals.
Let's I'm getting 226.
Oh jeez. I'm shooting the moon there.
Yeah, that one's low.
Yeah, jeez, that might be an under if you got guys like me thinking the over is gonna smash.
I'm going to update it right now because they changed. So now it's at 230. Now Golden State's at 233.
Oh,
so
this is per fantasy lab,
goes there. I think there's kind of like a clear drop off after the top 8 today.
Definitely.
Like I think this is. I think I wanted Halliburton there or DeJounte. Neither of them come back to us. And I think there's kind of like a drop off right here where it's like you have to make this decision. And I mean, like Jaylen Brown just doesn't sit in that same category with Smart back with whatever. So I don't know. It's Devontae.
Yeah,
no?
I like
Donovan.
Donovan. Yeah. It's like
Donovan or Garland, no doubt. Donovan is the safer pick.
It just feels like there is that drop off right here in the board. I mean, like Cat on any given night, right? But I don't know.
Sure. Oh man, I don't. Sorry,
how do you feel about Ingram tonight?
That Bam Q is just something, man. Oh man,
gotta like Bi tonight.
Yeah, I like Bi tonight.
I like Bi
too.
a lot. Yeah,
yeah. Like,
that's the highest total game now at 233. So
we get highest total game on the slate. We get no Clay. What I don't think they put Wiggins on. They probably put Wiggins on Ingram, right? That's like a good matchup. 2 long wings, right?
But I mean, in the modern NBA, I don't really. It's tough.
It doesn't really care.
Yeah, I don't really. I can't weight that at all.
Interesting. Chips bringing up the Garland over Mitchell. I don't know.
Got to live dangerously, man.
Yeah.
At this point, I'll always just get for these top guys. I'll just find a way to mix them in. I'll just try and get overweight on my values I perceive, basically. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, these top guys, I'll just continue to try and get like an even exposure to them.
Who gets a boost in Portland with Lillard out?
Simons.
Yeah.
So Simons this year. Who
do you guys like here?
We could take. I think Ant is fun.
Yeah.
Just to get him. You know what I mean? Like he has the eruption game in there, so that's what you're basically banking on. Mm-hmm. So this season without Dame, 33% usage for Anthony Simons. Next highest person is Yusuf Nurkic at 26. Jeremy Grant has a 24.3. Last year,
Jeremy Grant was going in the first round on that Tuesday or on the Saturday night slate draft. Like I just did like 5 of them right before lock, and I saw his name like going as like a first rounder. I was like, what the shit?
Yeah. And then last year with CJ McCollum they had, and then if you basically just kind of cancel out and add in what would be Jeremy Grant, Simon's at a 24% usage, Nurkic at a 23%. So you expect that. Obviously bumped with no CJ McCollum. It went to 33% this year. So Simon's just going to get his. I like Simon's here. It's fun.
Simon's feels like a 4th round smash right now.
Absolute smash.
Nice. He's not popping per se in projections.
Where do you got him on
I might need to update it, but he's 33 in ceiling rank. So again, I might need to update it a little bit because it's probably an hour and a half old and we just got all this news, but
yeah, we got him.
That's why Nurkic is kind of fun. I think Nez talked
That's
about
interesting.
It earlier.
He has Justice the negative
Winslow's
leverage.
Justice Winslow, man. Say it once, I'll say it again.
So those are the guys that I continue to talk about, that it's like I'm going to get my exposure to them, because if I'm going off of just straight spreadsheet, bro, which I like to do, I'd like to trust the projections. I'm not going to have any of that guy, but I know his range of outcomes and his ability to put up a ceiling. And maybe something's not updated quite right. They have something little, so one update and he could immediately rank up there. So it's these guys that you look in the sheet that have the 14.
I like Winslow because he does it. He can do everything. He has those games where he can put up a monster defensive stat line while also getting you a double. He's a grinder, man. He's anytime Dame is out, I'm always looking to see Winslow.
And he's their point guard. When Dame's out, it's him with the assist percentage. So if you just go in terms of basketball, he's their point guard.
Straight up.
Giddy, Bob's on Giddy tonight.
That's such a bop pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't wait for him to be tilting that one.
Oh, he's gonna tilt so fucking hard whenever Giddy has 10-0 and
mix
3.
up your exposures, Bob. Get a little flatter so we're not just tilting over a guy. If you are, it's Andy Edwards, I guess. Because
the last time I touted Justice Winslow, I think he put up a 40 spot. So Chip, watch your mouth.
It's so weird to see.
The same Justice Winslow.
It's so weird to see Kawhi's name buried.
You can definitely take some shots on Kawhi. Oh, Rudy.
I think Rudy's a slam
Rudy
dunk
and
here.
Ant, that's okay.
Yeah, Rudy and Ant. Yeah,
I think so.
I mean, every time Ant misses, then Gobert gets a rebound, then he kicks it out, and then he hits it. That's a rebound and an assist and a 3.
I mean, it's.
Here we go.
I like it. Those are the guys. I mean, obviously, if you look,
what is that?
This is the max. I would do max 2 T-Wolves, and it would be one of those 3. I wouldn't stray. So you have to set rules for yourself, and that's my rule. And then just know that if you have Ant Gobert, maybe you don't want to continue pairing them over and over again. You know what I mean? Because it's you're doing that in case you're not. That's.
I'm getting ahead. I'm getting ahead of Giannis being out. My boy.
Well, I think Drew's still there. No, he went one ahead of us. And Drew's interesting too.
Yeah. Who else do we like here?
I think we pulled the trigger on Wendell Carter if he's going to be still there.
Okay, sure.
If he's
just lean into that Q tag and he's right here. Yeah, he went undrafted in our last draft. It was weird. He said he was going to play, and then he didn't play, and then there was it was 2 games where it was he's not going to play, then he was going to play, then he said he was going to play. Did
Jalen Suggs go?
No, yes. Suggs was still there,
and
wasn't he? Oh no, he went right after. There you go.
Suggs is a great pick tonight. Suggs is a fantastic pick tonight. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to talk about high floor type of players. Ceiling, if you're shooting for the moon, then maybe not. But I'm big fan of Jalen Suggs, and I love pretty much anybody that has good floors against Indy. I love targeting teams against the Pacers.
Yeah, what do we think? Franz is the same bet as Bull. No, where it's kind of if Wendell's out, that's who we'd want.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. If Wendell's out, I really like Suggs even more too, because I mean he has the highest usage on the team, 1% off of Franz Wagner. And I'm not counting Paulo because he's out, of course. So if anyone's gonna come out, they knows. But yeah, so that's just another interesting thing. Just to let everyone know, right after this is done, I'm gonna go in there, update the sheet, and then I'll get a new update. So if you are gonna copy it, just wait. I'll send an update in the chat. I'll get that updated for y'all. And I'll try and continue to do it as we get closer to lock. If you notice people get ruled out and there's stuff like that, and I haven't updated it yet, I'm just waiting for projections to update. So
cool.
And then I'll get it in there.
Beautiful. All right. Fun show, gentlemen. Glad we broke down the first part of the Thanksgiving week slate. Got some hoops in there. A lot of fun. Good luck to everybody playing the stuffing tonight. If you are drafting the turkey, keep sharing those draft boards in that thread. Old John Boy finally found the thread and is going to start sharing some draft boards in there. It's kind of hard because the ones that I don't draft a ton on mobile anymore. So anyways, it's kind of harder to share draft boards opposed to just 2 clicks. You got to screen grab it and whatever.
Yeah.
But I'll do my best to keep sharing them
just
there.
Go on your phone right as the draft's about to end, and then just have it on.
Oh, that's a good call.
That's
a good call.
When I don't draft from the stream, I just kind of go, and I get in there real quick and screenshot it. So.
Perfect. Newbie for the people, obviously, always for the people. Thank you. Congrats again, Nick. Thanks all the shouts for the great show. Thanks for all that stuff. All those kind words. Reminder, hang out, Deposit Kingdom Discord below. If you're still here hanging out and watching, you're probably already in there. But yeah, fun news for us, joining that Underdog team via contributing a little bit of written content starting this week. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks so much to Hayden for the shout out for that and the reach out for that. Anything else to add, gentlemen?
No, just basically, I will let everyone know that I will not be available for the Discord hang. I don't know about you guys, but this week,
we
might just have to just do a little holiday kind of postpone, or if I do it, I'll just hop on my phone like a quick couple seconds because I will be in the middle of nowhere with the in-laws. So
okay, cool. Yeah, we'll talk about Thanksgiving stuff tomorrow, and we'll iron out a schedule for the rest of this week. Hopefully we'll have Mark tomorrow, and then hopefully a guest or two Wednesday, Thursday to talk through that Thanksgiving slate. And good luck NBA tonight. Good luck in the stuffing. Everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Peace.